You okay? What are you doing? Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, I'm on chapter 18, and there's been a secret revealed, and our Paul character is struggling, right? She's going through it, and it's like when it rains, it storms, it's pouring, it's cyclone. Like, this girl is getting it through. And worst of all, her twin sister does not believe her. She's going against her, like, the family, and it's just nothing's going her way. And I feel sorry for her. And I'm like, girl, just push through it. I'm like, the writing of this book is so amazing. Like, Christina and Lauren just did an amazing job. The banter, like, I watched some of the reviews of their books, and a lot of people say that they are great at writing banters, and I totally agree, because I'm completely captivated with the banter of, like, the family or between a romantic couple, and I'm just hooked. I love it. It's like you just spinning through it. I can't believe I have waited so long to read this. So far, I'm so happy I got to read this straight after Daydream, and I'm still flying high on this romances, and they are turning out to be so good. I'm just so happy. These books are getting me out of my book slump. So I've got 70 more pages to read. Let's see how it finishes. Let's see if our poor girl gets a break and everybody gets along, or I would be like, girl, just move. Just move away from everyone and start fresh. Yeah. The disappointment of page 344. Poor Olive. Olive girl. I wish we could be friends so I could fist bump you and tell you you're gonna be okay. Before I hop in a shower, I thought, let me sit down and have a quick chat to you about our reading journey so far for the Mood of Romances. I'm not sure why I feel like reading romances, and I totally forgot to record the intro to this. So here is the intro. We are reading a week of romances. The weather is beautiful, and I don't usually feel like reading fluffy romances. I usually like to read a little bit of smart, little fantasy thrillers. Romances are usually my in-between reads, but this week I am feeling the weather, I'm feeling great, and we are on those little fluffy romances. So the first book that we read was Daydream. I do have my full reading vlog of this book in one of my daily vlogs. And let's just have a quick discussion about Daydream. I gave this one 5 star. I read it within like 3 days, and mind you, I still had to go to work. It is such an easy read. I related to this book from page one. Page one, I was hooked. The intro was amazing. I could totally relate to this girl. She is a bookish girl. She is a thick girl, and she's smart, she's shy, she doesn't have many friends. And then this this tall, dark, and handsome hockey captain, and he's just, hey, let's be friends. And then they're going to do this deal where they both have a win-win situation. And we all know that when you do go in deals like that, you don't stay friends. It's impossible. And I love this book on so many levels. First of all, most of the fluffy romances, they have a lot of miscommunication tropes, and I hate miscommunication tropes. This is what I found why I don't like them. Because of that, you can literally solve the whole plot of the book by just speaking one sentence and avoiding the whole situation. But no, we have to make it dramatic, and it's so unrealistic, and the smart too much that doesn't fit in the story, right? So this is a third book from Icebreaker, Wildfire, and then we have Daydream. And this is nothing like the first 2 books. So if you didn't enjoy the first 2 and you do like fluffy read, love this. The actual smutty part wasn't smutty at all. It was the first time being very discreet. There wasn't many details, to be honest, and it was kind of gone and done. And I was like, please don't ruin this with too much smut. And they didn't. Says the person that has literally shelves of smut. And I literally cried. I cried. You can see it in my vlog. My kids recorded me because this guy was so sweet. I'm obsessed with Henry, and he just won my heart on so many levels. The attention to detail, the friendship, the communication, understanding, patience. It's just amazing. And the same, just seeing them grow and develop as individuals and as a couple, and creating, the friendship growth, turning into something more. And amazing, 5 star. I'm definitely gonna reread this. I'm actually gonna highlight a few things and annotate it, and I cannot wait for the next time I gotta do this. Once I'm done with that, I was like, this book got me out of my slump. I was sick and I didn't read absolutely anything for like a month. Now I have bad hay fever, and this book made me feel so much better. Natural antihistamine. So it took me to another world. I loved it. When we finished that, we moved on to the next one, The Honeymooners. I know I'm so late to the party. This book's been out for so long. I actually got it at one of the book exchange places with my friend. And the place was a little bit pricey, to be honest. Like, it was a little bit more expensive than Kmart. Like, you could think, oh, I could go get this book at Kmart for like $3 cheaper. But it's supporting a small business, and the place was awesome. It was huge. It was so many books. It was like crowded, but I loved it. And ignore this. This is my house shirt. And yeah, I loved it. So I was like, okay, let me just get this. I was with my friend. She's like, oh yeah, this is cute. I've had it for over a year. And then I was like, "Do you know what? I haven't read Christina Lauren their books yet." So I was like, let me read it and let me see. And I loved it. I loved it. I heard the banter is awesome, like I explained to you before. I Okay, can I be honest? Okay, I didn't give it 5 star. Hold on, I'll be back. Okay. So, I had to take a phone call and I forgot what I was talking about. Okay. Oh, yes. So I give this book 4.75. Okay. It was so close to being 5 star, but what ruined it for me was, to be honest, the last part, the 2 years later. I didn't like that. I wish they just left that out, and I wish they finished it with like a little banter that they had again, and that's it. The 2 year later part, I did not like it. It was weird. Oh my god, they're calling me back. Hold on. Okay, I'm back again. And I forgot what I was talking about again. But okay. So yeah, the last chapter of it being like 2 years later, I did not enjoy it. I don't like it. I was like, whatever, that was unnecessary, and that kind of put me off. But if they would have just not do that part, I would have probably enjoyed it more. Now, on the other hand, I think I would have absolutely loved it if they went, I just don't want to give it away, but I wish they went a different way. Okay, so first of all, let's have a discussion of what this book is about. I mean, most of you probably read it, but this is a book about two people that went on a date, and then after the date, she had an assumption that he didn't like her for one reason, and then there was actually a particular different reason why he didn't call her back. And so she has a twin sister. The twin sister was marrying his brother. So they were dating, and then they were getting married. So this story started off with the wedding day, and then everybody got food poisoning, and them two didn't because they were picky with their food. And they didn't eat the buffet what everybody else had. And they ended up going on the honeymoon of the couple, so of the twin sister and his brother. They went on a honeymoon, and she was like, I ain't going with you, because they didn't like each other. And they went anyway. So they were like, whatever, we'll just, you sleep on a bed, I sleep on a couch, da-da-da. But we know that never works. First of all, they've been together for a week and things escalated, and all of a sudden they liked each other, right? Now, 1 week, I don't think from hating each other for like 3 years, and then in a week you all of a sudden head over heels. But what I enjoyed about this is that Christina Lauren were able to have a perfect build-up for that week for them to like each other. There's other novels where they kind of hate each other, and then all of a sudden, I'm obsessed with you. And it was like, where did that come from? Like, there was no build-up, no explanation why they'd like each other. Whereas in this book, I love the explanation. I love the build-up. Obviously, 1 week, you're like, that ain't gonna last. It's not realistic. But they made it such a good way. The banter between these two is fantastic. The build-up is fantastic. They got to do and experience things. You can see their personality shining through and then molding together. Now, all that is good and well, but I'm like, so wish that these girls went a different way and they made the ending a little bit different. Like, imagine the ending of being this character saying no to everything, because she was having such a bad luck. And I was like, girl, I feel you. I just want to give you a cuddle. Like, I was like looking at her, and I'm like, I remember going through something like that, and I'm like, I know how you feel, and let me just tell you that it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, I know your future self's gonna look back at that and be like, girl, you're gonna get through it, right? So that's how I felt. However, I wish the ending was her saying no to everything, because everybody turned their backs on her. Everything went down south. And I wish she would turn around and was like, you know what? I'm going to do this for myself, and just said no to everyone and just was like, go. And I wish this ended more on like a note of self-love. And then once she went through the experiences, build herself up, I wish they did the last chapter of 2 years later, where they might have reconciled and went on a first date and, you know, grow from there. Now that would have been an awesome ending, because then it's like, you know what, at the end of the day, you can go through everything and you can pull out on your own, because she was contemplating, and I'm like, girl, go the other way. And I'm like, that would have been so good, please tell me. But I'm like, no, it was a typical cheesy ending. And I was like, okay, I get it. But the overall with this book was good. So can somebody please write, or if you know a book where the girl goes through more of a self-love phase, because even in this book, she was failing at that, because she made a promise to herself that she was going to do things for herself, and it still went the other way. Here, it still went the other way. And I'm like, I would totally thrive if these girls, Haley and Olivia, I wish they just be like, you know what, everyone else can wait, because they turned their back on me and I was there for them. I was being honest and truthful. And then when they realized that, let me just have a little breather and let me go do what I want to do and have my time. So that's my rant for these 2 books. Now, talking about what to pick up next, I'm still feeling in the romance mood, which is very rare. Like, that never happened. So I'm thinking, do I gamble and go with completely different writer and different vibe, or do I go and love The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren? Do I keep going with these girls, or do I, because I already know I love these authors, maybe I can save that book for a later video and actually read like 3 of their books maybe. But then I'm like, am I gonna feel in this mood again, reading 3 more romances in a row? I'm not sure. So let me just marinate on it. I'm gonna go take a shower, and then I'm gonna go to my bookshelf and see what I can pick from there. Okay, be back in a sec. Hi. Oh my God. My mascara is coming off my eyeballs. So I'm thinking I'm going to give you a quick little update. We are reading Ciao for Now by Kate Bromley. Okay, so how we are going so far. I'm not hating it, but I'm not completely in love with it like the previous books. And I'll tell you why. If you are obsessed with fashion design, fashion student, anything to do with fabric and sewing, you're gonna like this. If this was reversed in, I don't know, becoming a librarian or something to do with books, or another thing like something with fitness, or other things like something with, I don't know, gardening, I would probably enjoy it. So because the prime aspect of this book is for our girl to go to Rome and do an internship of fashion design. She already done a few, but this is one of the opportunities to go and get it done. And then she meets a quite stubborn, grumpy guy who turns out to be her professor's son. So they strike up a little thing, a little fling, and again, the banter is awesome. And this book is kind of like, I don't know, it plays with my emotion. It'll catch me and then it's kind of flat, and it'll catch me and it's kind of flat. And again, because there's a lot of like fashion statements, and he'll kind of get to or teach me how to measure myself for like to sew up a shirt. And so she starts telling him, okay, so you go from the hem down, da da da. So for me, because I'm not interested in that, it kind of goes in one ear and out the other, and I'm kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, get through the part next. However, it would be for a person who, for example, loves fashion, that would find that enjoyable. If it was something like her, studying like agriculture and explaining about, gardening and how to grow the vegetable and how you need the fertilizer and, the pH level. And then if he's like, oh, teach me, and she's explaining that part, I would be interested because I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get what she's talking about, and that's what I'm trying to explain. Like the actual book and the writing is pretty good. I like it. It's entertaining, but the fashion part is not getting to me because I have no interest in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if you do enjoy that, please have a read. And also I'm gonna give a quick little shout out to whoever's watching. If anyone has any romance books, like little rom-coms, that the aspect of it is like fitness, for example, can you please let me know what it is? Like, I don't want not hockey romances, nothing like that, actual like fitness, like gym. Because then I'm like, in my head, it popped into my head, and I was like, how good would that be for like a gym? And then like, if they're like checking each other out or something like that while training together, like I think that would be a pretty cool book. If those don't exist, can somebody please write it so I can read it? Thank you. So I am halfway through, and it's been 24 hours. Oh my god, why every time I start talking my nose blocks up? Literally nothing in it. Just come breathe through it. It's annoying. Okay, so we're on chapter 11, page 153. It's exactly halfway through, and our characters, they kissed so far, and when you do the first time and you know not supposed to, so a little bit confused. But there's a couple of things that made me giggle, especially like how they met was pretty funny. I was like literally hee, and my daughter's like, why are you laughing? I was like, oh, it's cute. It's a meet cute. I like it. I enjoy it. All right, let's read on, and I'm hoping to finish this tonight. I'm hoping to finish this in the next 2 hours, because I want to start on a new book tomorrow. Okay, guys, it's the next morning and I fell asleep, but I only have 40 pages left, and I am just having my coffee and making some pancakes. Okay, I was thinking, let me just have a quick breather while my frying pan is warming up. And let's have a little discussion. Let's decide what's going to happen. Is this book going to be where the girl is actually going to choose herself? So I'm thinking, like right now, they're sitting at this decision that pretty much summarizes the whole book, right? So they're having a discussion, not so much an argument, kind of like a discussion, a meltdown, I guess you could say. And because there's a twist of where this is gonna go, because they're deciding what is happening between them and how it's gonna end. Now my predictions, it's not a spoiler because I actually don't know what's gonna happen. My predictions, she's gonna choose herself, and maybe that's why it says ciao for now, that maybe she's gonna go and focus on herself. Please let this be a book where this girl chooses herself for once, okay? Because he is doing what he wants. He is gonna go and he got his own plans. And, you know, they've only known each other for like 3 weeks. So it's just they're only for a month. And I really wanna, like, please be that. So that's my predictions. I'm gonna go finish this and then we're gonna have a chat about this book. I love Violet's sister Daniela. She's freaking hilarious. And this is why I'm like, oh, it's so important to have people like that in your life. So she's just telling her how she wants to just give up and do all this, right?
Kiki,
Yeah.
I want to go wee-wee.
Okay, go. And then she was like she was to give up. And she's like, oh, you did all that in the span of a week? And she's like, do you realize I have a 4-year-old boy and an infant girl, Violet? I'm 99% sure that they're actively trying to kill me. And if I tried to quit whenever the going got tough, I would quit every damn day of my life. But do I? No. I throw in Cocomelon, I cry in the bathroom, and I soldier on. Don't be such a baby. Like, yes, unless you're a mom. Everything seemed 100 times harder until you became a mom, and it's 1,000 times harder, but you don't quit. Literally, put the movie on, cry in the bathroom, get out, and just get on with your day. Yes. I just completed this book. I just completed it. I loved it. It's not quite 5-star, but I'm gonna give it 4.75. The ending, I'm not gonna tell you if I was right or wrong, but I do love the ending. I love it. Exactly what I've been looking for. And I am surprised how I'm finding 3 romances in a row. And like I told you, I'm not a romance girly, but I'm finding 3 romances in a row now where they're awesome. I love it. I don't know if it's my mood or what, but this rom-coms are hitting it. So Violet and Matt. How can I say this without spoiling too much for you guys? Because the little twists in here are awesome. I remember I picked this book up when I just bought it about 1.5 years ago. And I was like, don't really feel like it. And the thing is, let me show you. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of pages. There are a lot of words in one page. So the actual book is only 300 pages and it's not that big, but that's just a lot of words. And when I started reading it, I was like, not really feeling it. But I think because lately I'm like thinking about how I want to travel to Italy one day and, you know, check the culture. This is based in Rome. And the quarter of the star that's missing is because of the fashion part. Like I said, I can't relate to that. But I do like how they explained the passion that she has for this. There's so many life lessons. They are both adults because she is 29 and he's in his 30s. So it's not like rom-com-y like, for example, if you read Fangirl, for example, it's very like college and everybody's immature. We don't really have much experience, I guess, with love, but because these people both been in serious relationships, so they're kind of growing as individuals as you see them growing, even though this whole book takes place in like a month. So the last chapters of this is 1 year later, and I like how that developed too. So, and it's not your typical, oh, we live happily ever after. It's actually very eye-opening on how important it is to, you know, do things that are scary, and, you know, the whole thing about following your dreams, and that it's okay, you know, to make sacrifices, and it's okay, you know, that the most important part that I took is that following your dreams, you can't do it alone. You need a group of people around you, and you need a support system. And, you know, this is how you grow as a person, and as your dreams grow and progress, you need that support, your family, your friends, You find out the real ones, you make new friends along the way, and at the end of the day, everybody has their own opinions, everybody has their own likes and dislikes, and that you can't please everybody. So your real ones, your day ones, this was book showing you that, you're going to keep those people close to you. So I really, really love it. I can't believe how we are going so well with my reading. So I'm actually going to keep going. I'm going to stay on top of my streak, and let's emboss down my page. So I usually like to emboss down the first page where it actually has the author's name as well. Yep, this one. Let's read it. We're gonna blip blip. So let's go. Yeah. Oop. There. Officially read. So cute. Okay. I'm gonna put this back into section. I think I'm gonna put next to the honeymooners, and I'm thinking the next one we're gonna read is A Wish for Us by Tilly Colley. I read 1,000 Broken Pieces, and I loved that book. Not broken pieces, 1,000 broken pieces. So I feel like we can't go wrong with this. So that's why we're gonna put this guy back.
Kiki, what's that?
That's Kiki's embossed stuff. Alright, we're gonna go on this one. Let's go. Hey guys, we on page 124, and I thought we can officially have a little update. I've been binging on this book non-stop, and I really, really love it. I was hanging in the hammock, and I was listening on Spotify to a romance reading music playlist, and most of it had piano tones in there. Now, you know how in previous book I said I couldn't relate because it was about fashion and design, and like I wasn't really into that. However, with this book I can relate. It's about music, and so much more into classical music, right? So our characters are in the music school, and they've got their own problems going on, and it's really giving me a vibe of the 1,000 Boy Kisses, where you can feel not the chemistry, because they're only like 19, but it's like the genuine care, right? So I hated this guy at the beginning. I'm like, this guy is a douche, right? I'm like, girl, she's trying so hard to be a good student. This guy just ruining for her. Like, what is his problem? And then I'm like, he's such a narcissist. And then, the more you get to learn about him and her, a bad boy, good girl kind of vibe. But it is so different because they connect through music, and they bring out sides of each other that other people don't see, and then break down these walls. And the writing is amazing. I actually did that doggy ear already. Yeah, I actually let me see what. So for example, I tried to push the feelings of it from my head, but the echo of the notes still lingered in my ears. The shadows from the colors were still living in my mind, and the phantom feel of the keys beneath my fingers was still etched on my skin. I was like, whoa, I literally got shivers down my spine. I was like, this is so, like, what beautiful writing. And that's not it. Like, she just kept going, and there's other little things, and the poetic writing and how it kind of twist and belong with classical music, which is what they're doing. That's one of their projects. I don't know how people come up with this stuff. Hey, authors are just on another level. Like, I don't think I could ever write a book. Can't get things out of, like, it's in my head, but I can't get it out of my mouth or on paper. So seeing that these two are, I'm just trying not to say too much because I don't want to spoil it for you. Anyways, let's just stop there. So far I'm really, really loving it, and I can connect it. And another thing, you know, when you look at the person and they look like they're so angry and they look so mean, and you're like, who hurt you? Like, genuinely, you know, like, he's the whole bad boy, like, always partying, always drinking, always meaningless interactions with opposite, with females, and he's got all these tattoos everywhere. He's rude, and, you know, some people would be like, oh, whatever. And then you have some girls who would be like, what is behind that mask? What's bothering him? Like, and this is Bonnie. This is what's happening here. And to be honest, I got intrigued. I was like, okay, I know he's hurting, you know, from explaining. And I love that it's not cheesy. Like, this is such a, the word that comes in my mind is classical story. I was actually not gonna read it because it started off with him being a DJ at this nightclub, and I was like, I am not in the mood for that. I don't want to read none of that insta lovey kind of. I'm like, nah. But I was like, okay, you know what? Just give it 50 more pages. And I started, and I got hooked. I'm like, it is none of that. I don't know what's going on with my luck with this romances, but so far I'm very impressed. I'm gonna binge on it as much as I can tonight and see how far we can get through this. Yeah. And this is what I'm talking about, poetic writing. It was dark before I left, and like a forever raging sea, my heart never calmed. Oh my God. Preach, Tilly Cole, preach. Hey guys, let's do a quick little reading update. So first things first, I am 190 pages through. It's practically halfway, and I'm still loving it so much. All I want to do is just sit down and read it, but you know, I'm a mom, so I gotta do things. And first of all, I went on Goodreads to see what the rating is and what the reviews are, because I don't like reading the back of the book. So usually I kind of like, when I buy it, I'll look at the back, but then when I'm about to, that's the page, I'm about to read it, I don't actually look. I just kind of have an idea, and I'm like, okay, I bought it at the time, so I must have actually wanted to read it. So anyways, when I looked at this book, I just see a blob of colors, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty cute. It's kind of like similar tones to the previous book. And then when I go on the internet, I see it straight away. I see it. I know I'm slow, so if you've seen it, good on you. But if you haven't, okay, this is actually a guy standing behind a cloud of smoke, a colorful cloud. Right, so that's his abs, that's his arm going over his head, and that's his hair. First of all, I saw it on the internet, and I was like, wait, and I picked up my book. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even realize there was a person behind this cloud. Second of all, there's little music notes everywhere. It makes sense because this book is about music. And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even realize there were little music notes. So I'm a little bit slow with the cover. That's the first things. Okay, now let's talk about our characters. Okay, so I'm kind of worried about Easton. Like, yeah, I'm a little bit, so I love the dual POV here though. Like, the Bonnie is awesome. what kind of name is Cromwell? I've never heard it before, and it sounds very, for a DJ too. I'm like, oh, I don't know, that's a bit weird. But anyways, so Bonnie and Cromwell are going through their stuff. You know, they're young, a bit of pull and push. I'm worried about Easton at this point. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, but because that's Bonnie's brother, and I'm not really sure what they're going through. Kind of, I have an idea of from Cromwell's side, his side of things, his grief. Don't know what Bonnie's going through. They haven't explained that to us yet. Why her brother is like lashing out and partying so much, and you know they're grieving over something as well. So the mental health side of things, I'm worried about him. I'm worried about Bonnie. I don't know. I think her health is compromised because she's so tired and she's doing so much. And I'm like, girl, you need to sit down and rest. And she's stressed and she's got a lot going on. Cromwell, he's like, you can see he's getting out of his shell and he's trying to break through his barriers, like whatever wall he built up. He's trying to get out of that and kind of let the feelings flow. So those are the three main characters at this point. Bryce is just pissing me off, but at the same time I feel sorry for him because you know, he's been around Bonnie for so long and the guy is kind of like on the back burner at the moment. And what about with the coffee shop Sam? Like, what's his story? Like, he just randomly pops up here and there, but I'm like, is he somehow involved in the book or what? So I'm not going to give any predictions because I don't want to ruin, but I do have a feeling about one thing. No, I have feeling about two things actually. And I want to see, I'm going to finish this today because it's the last day of the month and we're starting October with fresh TBR. But I really want to see if my predictions are correct. And I think this is going to be a sad book. So I got my eyeballs on. I got my tears ready to go. And I'm actually going to be, I'll have another like half an hour and then I'm going to be busy for like 5 hours straight. But then for the afternoon, after I get my things done, I'm sitting down and I'm reading this book. I'm finishing this today because I need to know. Okay, so that's the update so far. And I'll let you know if my predictions were correct. Hello friends, I thought I will plant you right here. No, okay, I think I'll just hold you. Hey, I know I look tired because I'm actually relaxing on this beautiful beach. Currently on holiday, and no, I did not get to finish my book. Oh, look at this. Woo! It's such a beautiful day. We're enjoying being at the beach because it's got a storm tomorrow. We got a weather warning for a storm, big storm, thunderstorms, wind. We were in a tent and we actually had to change over. So let's talk about a wish for us. I had a couple pages to complete. I fell asleep, so I'm like, I'm gonna complete it now because then I'm moving on to the next book that I took for this trip, and I'm gonna focus on that for the whole trip. It's quite thick. So I wish for us. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I fell, I sit on this massive rock and I fell. Okay, so let's have a quick chat about this. Overall, I enjoyed the book. I'll give it about 4.5 stars. The reason it's not 5 star because it's very deep about obviously music. Now, if you're not into music, especially classical music, if you don't have passion for music, if you don't understand the beauty of music and what it does to your soul, you will not enjoy this book because it is deeply involved about music and the passion and how much it hits your soul and all the way to your core and to your bones, and mostly classical music. He is a DJ, but he initially is a classical composer. So obviously this book is about two youngsters who fell in love through the love of music. They have their own stories. Now, the little hutch that I told you about, Easton, and about Bonnie and stuff like that, that hutch is right. And I mean, I read a lot of thrillers and mysteries, so it wasn't a surprise to me because I kind of knew it was heading where it was heading, but I still enjoyed it. I did have a little cry at a few points. I wanted to cry, but then there's another one where it actually got to me because I could just imagine this going through the feelings of our characters, and can't even imagine to have that in real life, God forbid, but I really connected with them on that level, and I thought it was absolutely amazing writing as well. The writing is very poetic, and our characters went through some stuff, so I like the ending of the book as well. I thought it'll be a little bit more dramatic though from how the book was going. I wish it was more dramatic. I think it would have stuck with me and gave me a couple more tears where when not every book can make you cry, so if it did give me a few more tears, I'll probably bump up a couple more ratings on it. But generally speaking, this book is very passionate about music and people who are passionate about music. So I know a few people were kind of like didn't feel it, but that's probably because if you're not a fan of that, that's what it is. So I'm definitely gonna read some more of Tilly Cole, 1,000 Broken Pieces of her. I'm gonna go and buy that for my next I guess romance vibe when I'm feeling it. So with our romances, we did really well, and I can't believe my successful streak. Most of the books were amazing, and I don't really like I said before, many romances. So for me to actually enjoy the romances, and nothing hit under 4-star, which is like super rare and absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy that this week turned out the way it did. I am leaning into a fantasy mood now. It is 1st of October, officially Halloween month, I guess, and it's my birthday month. So I think we're gonna go in a different direction, and I'm actually probably gonna make a little bit of a TBR video and give myself a goal to work for this month. But to summarize it, my favorite romance book out of this week is definitely Daydream. Absolutely amazing. I don't know why people hate it. I don't get it. I don't see it. But again, because I can't relate to it. And everything else has its own themes, have their own plots. I love that. I think that's what it is. Each romance book that I read had its own plots, because usually it kind of like, hockey romance, it's like, the miscommunication and stuff like that. I don't like that. These books that I read, each one had their own story, had their own focal point, whether it's fashion, whether it's music, whether it's books and, writing and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to finish off here because the sun is going down. We're going to go get some food and enjoy the day. See you guys.